Jackie Kashian, Laurie Kilmartin.
It's happening.
We're both very stressed. I'm thinking. I was just online.
Sure.
I was in the meeting watching you handle, I don't know, internet problems. Did you know you were logged in and I could hear everything?
Yes.
Okay.
I logged in and then the phone in my room rang and I answered it and said, I didn't know there was a phone in my room. And it was tech support. So, I'm in Canada. A guy at last week's show gave me a poppy for Veterans Day, which is
Oh.
Remembrance Day
Mm-hmm.
here.
That's what
in
they
Canada.
do. Oh yeah, they do that in the UK. Because I always remember seeing the royal family. They do they wear black, they wear their little poppy, then they look up as planes go overhead. And now people are comparing Kate Middleton's face from last year's when she had cancer this year. Everyone thinks she actually had a facelift. And they used,
weird.
because they're like, she had pre-cancer. Well, okay, so that's not cancer. I mean, we all have pre-cancer. What a scam.
We do.
What a scam.
We do all have for pre-cancer.
Jackie, I just finished yelling at the Pineapple Hotel where I stayed.
Oh, you love a Pineapple Hotel.
Not anymore.
No?
I go on my credit card
They
to
go.
adding up my expenses, and they just keep adding little fees. They're like, oh, these are taxes. We forgot to add them to your bill when you checked out. I'm like, you can't just keep fucking adding shit to my card days afterwards.
Right, I'm not even there anymore.
When I
I'm
checked,
not even using your
I made the reservation through their website and it said $105. That's it. Didn't say anything else. Now it's $158. They're like, oh, there's the amenities fee because of our location, and then there's some other fee that I couldn't hear because I was so fucking pissed. And I'm like, you can't just say it's 105 on your website and then it's like 1/3 more than that.
And days after you've left them? That's
Days
weird.
after, yes.
There's trouble
what a
there.
scam.
Yeah.
It feels super scammy. I wouldn't have stayed there if it was 158, you know?
Oh my gosh. I have been wandering the earth, making pretty good money, and then being nickeled and dimed myself. But I will say that it was on me today when I got to the Toronto airport and I rented a car. And I didn't know that the car rental place, and it was, literally the car was $22 a day. So it was going to cost me like $48 for a car, or $52 with tax.
Yeah. Okay.
And in Canadian. And but I had to take like a shuttle and then I don't know, a ski dog. I couldn't face. I got off, and there's only one flight. There's two flights out of Burlington, Vermont, of a morning.
Oh, right.
And one is at 5 o'clock in the morning, and one is at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh my God.
Lyft will not. So I took the 6:24, the later one, which meant that I needed a 4:45 a.m. taxi or Lyft or Uber, and so Lyft said no. They had no one willing to offer.
They wouldn't let you schedule it even?
Yeah, they would let me schedule it. So I scheduled the Lyft, an Uber, but I use Uber so rarely because I don't enjoy their policies. That I also called the valet downstairs and I was like, "You guys have a reliable taxi driver?" He said, "We have two. One is better than the other." And I was like,
"Oh God!"
I don't
in the whole city. Oh my God!
I don't like those words. So what I did was I double booked it just to make sure that someone was driving me.
Right.
So then I had to. So the cab showed up first, which is good because they wanted cash, and I was like, I didn't know how I was going to pay them if I had to cancel, and I felt bad about canceling either of them. But the Uber I canceled, and then they just charged me $25, which I hope to God goes to the guy.
Probably
but
not.
I don't know.
Yeah,
probably not.
They suck.
The worst.
Which is why you rightfully don't use them.
And then when I got to the airport, I had only had a couple hours of sleep. I get to the Toronto airport and there's no, Hertz, Avis, Alamo, Budget. They're all downstairs. where is Ace
Oh
Rent-A-Car?
no. I always get the one that's not in the like you
Right.
see like 15 different logos and you're like, where's mine? Oh my God.
Well, it was a nickel, and the reason it was a nickel is because I have to, I don't know, parachute in. And so I went, but I couldn't, no one could tell me. There was no one at the information kiosk.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went down and I walked into the Alamo and I said, "Where is the Ace Rent-A-Car?" And he goes, "Oh, Avis?" And I said, sadly, no.
Oh no,
Ace.
they don't even know. They haven't heard of it. Oh,
No, he
that's
knew.
terrible. Okay.
Yes.
My
And
God.
so the he goes, "Oh, that's off. You have to go back up and then to the shuttles, and then they'll take you." And I
With all
just
your
stood there for a
stuff?
second. Yeah. And so I just
Oh,
stared at them and I said, "How much? How much to rent me a car for 2 days?" And it turns out, uh, not $50. It was $200. It was $100 a day.
shit.
But I was like, I
Right.
deserve this.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you think this is too dark? Because here's the thing. So I'm in Vermont for the week, and I'm
Mhm.
wandering around, and I'm noticing that women are very much, you know how we are with our wariness of being attacked and
Right.
living defensively for our whole lives. It feels like that wariness is on steroids right now. It's sort of like every dude you meet, all men, you can't tell anymore. I can't tell anymore.
No, you can't.
And
It's all well, not, you know what? It's a lot of races. It's not just white guys that did this. You know,
no,
it's
but the thing
a
is
lot of
I
them.
used to be pretty good at
Yeah.
just meeting men at 50 years later
Right.
and going, "Oh, that guy's a bit of a blowhard, but he's safe enough. That
Mhm.
guy's really nice. That guy's fine. That guy's
Mhm.
needy, but whatever." I mean, like I could tell. And now it seems to uh there's trouble. So but now I'm in Canada, where all the women are just wandering around, just essentially believing they can still trust all the men in their lives. It's very beautiful to watch them just kind of just wander, like sort of like we
They,
were last week.
they haven't had men say your body my choice to them. Wow.
No.
That's a complete rape threat right there, by the way, in case
Oh, it's
anyone's
not even. It's
wondering.
just chattel. It's just chattel. It's just
Mhm.
and little boys saying it to little girls at schools because
Disgusting.
they've heard their parents say it. Means
Or
that they get to,
they've heard the internet say it, right? And they think it's
right,
funny.
but it just means that they get to do whatever they want to the people's bodies and the women's bodies, and it's so. But what I have also noticed is, well, that there's this wariness on steroids. There's
Mhm.
also just I've just been hearing stories, and I've just been seeing just people, you know how like we've just sort of listened to men kind of mansplain, or I mean whatever, just especially our generation, this age, where you're just like, "Oh, he's kidding. Oh, it's a thing. He's just," and then you smile politely or you just keep moving. I just a lot of very aggressive women eye contact stories that are happening on the internet, where you're just like, "No, no, I actually can't tolerate this. Could be the first step to me being chattel. So we're going
Yeah.
to nip it in the bud right here." And so I think that there's a lot more. And I will say that the women that are in their 20s and 30s right now are a lot less tolerant than we were.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
So I mean, you can't know what's going to happen, but I did get a text from my buddy who said, "My goal this year is to get 100 women to get conceal and carry permits." And I was like, "Well, it's not going to be me because it wouldn't be concealed."
Mhm.
And so let's not. And then they and then I also got a DM from, and shall I put it in the chat? Can I put it
Yes,
in the chat? It's
please.
on the
I'm in
right
a
now.
terrible mood, so I need all of our old tricks.
All the old tricks. Let's see. It's in the main chat, and you know this guy.
Wait, where's our main chat? I'm on a
On the right.
Oh, I see. I see.
You got it? You know that guy, right?
Wait, hold on.
And
Why is it making me click so much?
it's the top thing, live stream chat.
I
I know they
am.
changed the interface, and it blows.
I can see that you chatted to me, but it's not showing me what
Right.
you said.
Well, what if I tell you later? But I will say
Text me.
this:
Text me.
I'm just texting you now.
Okay.
So, and then Kyle will get it too. Kyle is gainfully employed, and
Okay.
yeah.
And what
So
did yeah?
all he did was this guy, the guy that the name I just typed, texted me or DM'd me and said that he had gone on this amazing date with this woman. And then the election happened, and she was like, I'm actually off men right now. So,
Good. Good for her.
and he was like, there's part of me that just wants to sort of defend myself. And I said, nope. You're literally the learning curve right now. There's gonna, I mean, because there are plenty of men, and we know them, who are decent, who were raised right, and they think of women as people that they might like to have sex with, but also as people. And so they treat them fine, and it's fine. But the thing is what those guys are going to have to do a little extra heavy lifting, much like all of us who aren't completely insane. But in this case, they're going to have to do heavy lifting in sort of a gender sexual kind of way, where because it's terrifying, and you know what happens when people get scared? They get angry. And I don't want to create a bunch of new incels, but so I would just tell
our
men out there exactly.
Why it's our responsibility for men we don't know to not be incels? When the fuck did we not have to be in charge of everything? And is it all our fault? I'm so tired of this world. Somebody I'm so sick of it. And I mean, we're lucky we're not fertile at the moment, right? I would be fucking terrified if I was under 40 right now. There's no safe state. They are going to try to implement everything in Project 25. The pro-life people are not satisfied with states' rights whatsoever. They want to shut it down nationally, and they're getting what they want, and they've been given a blank check.
They literally just want to control women or watch them die. That is it. It is control or kill women, and that is the project. They also would like to, it's obviously a fucking nightmare. So
did you?
whatever.
So I was on. I am moving to Blue Sky. I took Twitter off my phone, and you left Twitter, right? Did you shut your whole thing down?
I shut Twitter down. Yeah.
I gotta save my tweets and then do that.
It was It was right before the election. I did it just because I was being harassed by one of the dude comics we know.
Oh, who? Text me.
Right. I think I told you about it, but I'll text you. It was. There you go.
Oh, right. Oh, that guy.
Right.
I don't consider him a comic anymore. He's a Bitcoin dealer. Come on.
Ooh.
You're being targeted by a crypto boy. So it's so wild how for like a second it was like, oh my God, Tony Hinchcliffe tanked the Republican Party and all this stuff, and I was like, we'll see. I didn't think she would lose, but then it just feels like everything that's wrong was emboldened. And like Jeff Dye was on Twitter today and tweeting like somebody, he quote tweeted Ana Navarro, who's talking about the mass deportations on The View, right? And it's like, I voted for this because these are illegal immigrants and all this shit, and just that nasty, like, okay, well, how easy is it for someone to be a legal immigrant here? It's very, very difficult. No one tries to fix that, or they were trying to, and the border bill got tanked. But it's not coming from a place of let's fix this. It's like, fuck these people, get them out. By the way, the economy unfortunately and unfairly relies on immigrant and illegal, I don't even say undocumented immigrant work because of their unfortunate legal status, they have to do the shittiest fucking jobs. Who's going to do those jobs? Who's going to be picking food? Who's going to be picking fruit? No one. But Jackie,
okay.
It's everything's going to get more expensive because of that and the tariffs. And now, how are people going to pay $35 to go to a comedy show if they're paying double? I'm serious. Like, these comics aren't thinking, like, if everything gets more expensive, that hits your audience. That hits people buying your merch, your fucking trucker hats or whatever. Like, it's
right.
Why aren't you just thinking?
It's a stand-up comedy podcast.
It is.
And
but I was going to reply to him that I'm like, I don't want to get. I already got in a little fight with Kurt Metzger about something. Oh, vaccinations, I think. And then I'm like, you know what? I don't have to engage. I can just mute. And I am moving over to Blue Sky, and it's a very different vibe there, and that's fine. You know, like I would love to yell at a lot of these people, but also, you know, I have 24 hours in a day, and is this what I want to be doing? I'm not going to convince some MAGA comic. I don't even know how people do that. How do you work with all the comedians you work with and say that half of them should be deported, or you wish they were? You know, it's disgusting.
Well, and I will say this, much like what I just said about controlling or killing women, they don't care. Jeff Dye doesn't care. He would like all of them to die. They genuinely, he's not thinking, oh, I just wish it could be, you know, more legal. That's not what he's wishing. He's wishing that they would go away and die. And if they don't, and if they don't,
they'll say they don't want that though. But that's what the outcome is. You're sending all these people back to war-torn countries that are war-torn because of American policy, and you're sending them back to terrible circumstances. A lot of them will die.
Yes, that is the fact is that so many people are about to die if these things happen, and if we stop them. I mean, I've been saying it for months, and I didn't think she'd lose either one. So I said it, and then I still got punched in the gut, and I lost my wind because I was just in numb. I was like, well, because they weren't going to stop fighting anyway. They weren't going to stop this nightmare anyway. So we were going to have to either the Project 2025 and the Nazis. They weren't going to stop and not do it, but we were going to fight them from a place where Harris and Walz were going to have at least the credibility to send in the National Guard, to send in the army. Now, when Trump and Vance send in the army, there's going to be plenty of army that will be like, I'm in the army. This is what I do. And so we will be from a much less powerful position.
I don't totally understand that tangent about Harris and Walz sending in the army.
Well,
but we're fucked. I think we agree.
January 6th happened. Right. And when January 6th happened, and my buddy goes, I'm going to open my set with, who wants to remix January 6th this year? And by the way, I'm at the DC Loft on the 1st. We forgot to do our dates. And everybody said that everybody in Vermont was like, at Pittsburgh was like, you guys got to do your dates, because that's been helping us come out to the shows. So we should have. Do you want to do the dates and then make Kyle put them at the front?
Yes, let's do it.
Let me make a note of the time code.
Okay.
Go, do your dates.
Hi, this is Laurie Kilmartin, and before we start, we have a heated podcast today, guys. We are furious, but we realized we forgot to plug our dates. So we're doing that real quick now, and then we'll dive right into our angst. I am in Chicago at the Comedy Plex this weekend, November 15th and 16th. It's 2 nights. It's a brand new club. Come on out and support. It'll be really fun. I'm furious, and so I'm a lot of fun when I'm mad. I really am. In December, I will be in San Diego on the 12th, 13th, and 14th in Chandler, Arizona. All 3 nights are at the Mic Drop, which is a new burgeoning chain. And then on the 26th and 27th I will be in Wilmington, North Carolina at the Dead Crow. And then we'll get into 25 dates later on.
Okay, and I am Jackie Kashian. You go to lauriekilmartin.com, by the way. You can see the extensive dates, and you can get ticket links and all that stuff. Same with JackieKashian.com. This weekend, the 15th and 16th of November, I'm going to be in Portland, Maine, looking for a lobster roll. That's right, doing shows at the Empire. And Adam Grotman going to be emceeing for me. And then the following week, I'm opening for Maria in Rockford, Illinois, Madison, Wisconsin, and Milwaukee, the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. Then I'm home for Thanksgiving, where I'm going to be fucking thankful for the things that I have in this moment. So, and then the 1st and 2nd, wait a minute. It's actually the first week of December. I'm with Brian Regan in Florida, and that's a trip. I don't really know. I think it's Fort Lauderdale, St. Petersburg, Orlando, and Fort Pierce. That's what I've got written. And then the weekend after that, I'm with Maria at the Den, 12, 13, 14.
Oh, in Chicago? Oh, cool.
Yep. And then the week after that, the 19, 20, 21, I'm at Dr. Grin's in Michigan. And then it's Christmas, where I'm also going to be thankful for that. And then later, we'll do 2025.
I think I'm gonna be in New York on New Year's Eve, so I'll be doing spots someplace I put in for things, but we'll see.
Okay, let's start the show.
Okay, so we're well, I don't know where this is weirdly constructed because of our fury and despair, and yeah, I don't know. Like somebody drove by the house in a truck with a giant American flag, and I guess I'm known for my beliefs, my abortion banner.
Right.
So he goes, "Get over it," as he's driving by. So I think what I'm going to do on Inauguration Day is take my dad's military flag out of its case and hang it upside down.
There you go.
Because it's my flag now.
It's your flag now.
You know, he didn't fight for this shit. I mean, he did, but I don't think he meant to.
Well, right. Well, it's yeah, you got to do what you got to do. Some people are still watching the news. I am not. I'm barely reading the news at this point.
Right.
I'm just like, you know, I know that there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes, and what I've been trying to do, I did the other night. I did my genocide bit because I can dust off the first 10 minutes of the Hero album from 8 years ago, and
about the Armenian genocide for those who haven't heard it.
Genocide. Yes, yeah. So I've gotten a lot of people saying that they've been listening to that album a lot lately, just for because in it I talk about sort of where I got my hope, and the joke. I don't know how well the joke holds up because I got my hope from my black and my brown friends, and I saw a thing on the reels today. This woman going, "I am not your mother." Oh my God. And it was just this sort of like younger than us, but middle-aged black woman who was like, "Nope." And you're like, take it to the arches, lady. You're not wrong, lady. I don't know what that arch business was, but
I don't know.
but I was completely on her. Yeah.
To St. Louis, Missouri, or McDonald's. But either way, good suggestions for everyone.
Good suggestions. The learning curve right now is going to have to be, we're going to have to support each other and know that people are going to be traumatized, and it's going to be hard to write jokes like that. I have 3 pages about essentially the decent men thing that you were like, I don't want to. You're just like, why are we in charge of everything? But that's what that woman was saying.
Yeah.
And that literally was one of the first bits where I was like, well, let's not alienate the men that we know. And I'm like, why am I still soothing these motherfuckers?
Yeah.
Why don't I just drown them all and start over? And just like,
finally, now we're cooking with gas, Jackie. You've been holding back, and I'm sick of it.
That's it. A bag of kittens. Just fucking throw them in the lake. And but that's something that used to happen when I was a kid. You guys, so sorry. I'm sure it's over. Anyway,
wait. Who? I'm sorry. someone would take kittens, put them in a bag, and throw them in a lake?
Oh yeah. Are you where are you from again? Walnut Creek? People weren't doing
Yes.
that back
No.
in the 70s,
Nope.
60s?
Nope.
Okay. If
So
there's
those
too many
people.
kittens,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. They vote. Those guys voted. By the way, those kitten
Oh,
throwers.
I'm sure the kitten throwers definitely voted. And yeah.
There's a Reddit called Amor Exit. It's for Americans who want to leave the United States, and I belong to it. I'm always fascinated by, it's not easy,
No,
at all.
no, it's a project. Yeah.
And it is like flooded with people. There, so many like trans and gay people are fucking scared for their lives. I don't know. It's just so
and well,
bad.
they ought to be. Yeah, because everybody has. I mean, what this means is a rapist has been elected, and it just gives it credit. It just gives everyone the idea that it's okay. It's okay to do whatever you want because you're a man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's incredibly. Here's the name of my next tour when I make posters again. It's gonna be "You're gonna reap what you sowed, motherfucker." That's the name of my next tour. And,
I know some of them will,
yeah.
but a lot of the people will reap what other people sowed. You know what I mean?
Oh, very much so. I mean, it genuinely. I don't know why I'm laughing, but
I know.
I'm laughing because I don't know how to. I have to write comedy about it. That I can get people an hour of just a little bit of peace, a little bit out of it. So,
this is going to affect comedy's going to there'll be a lot more right-wing comics because it's a grift. It makes a lot of money. A lot of them maybe secretly think that way, and they're like, wait a minute, why am I secret about it? Let me be out and open and get that money. And a lot of clubs are going to be booking those people because they like money. And so I feel like there's even less space for us in stand-up comedy now because we are not a dominant voice. We never were, but we're less so now.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know. I can't predict. I can't predict any of that. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
No, we don't know.
I mean, swing Heil, man. Do you remember that movie about swing music going to Germany?
Oh, really?
And the musicians at the end of the movie were being taken away by the Nazis, but they were like, "Swing Heil, man, swing Heil." So.
Jackie, I had besides being overcharged at the Pineapple Hotel, and they already got their 1-star TripAdvisor review from me, and I will be going to other sites as well. That's right. You will pay for this.
All right.
So my first show last week was in Eugene. We had a lot of Jackie and Laurie listeners there. That was really cool. It was really fun.
That is cool.
A lot of crowd work, a lot of people who collect rocks, but I think they've decided that sounds boring, so they call it rock hounding. Rock hounding.
Oh,
that's the name. No. Oh, I guess so. Yeah, that's the name of their hobby. That is rock collecting.
I have heard Rockhound. Yes,
okay.
I have.
So that was fun, and Eugene was a great hotel. I liked it a lot. It was a great club. You've worked there, right? At the Olson Run, I thought you did like a Don't Tell there or something, right? Yeah.
No, I did a Sunday. That was good, and it was full.
Yeah.
And then I did a Don't Tell the night before in some pizza place.
Okay.
So,
that's right.
But not the World of Pies, which is where we both did a show many years ago.
Right. That's right.
And a live Jackie and Laurie. Yeah.
And then the next night, Friday, was in Portland, where I stayed at the grossly overpriced Pineapple Hotel. I don't know if I mentioned it. And it was at the Siren. That was really fun. Sold way more tickets than she anticipated, Shelley, because of the mood of the town and stuff like that. But it was a really fun show. Everyone in the audience was like, every person I talked to did something earnest and good for a living, and I'm like, I need a banker. Somebody give me. I need a piece of shit. I can't take your happy faces. You're
Right.
well-meaning.
How am I going to make fun of you? You help toddlers.
Yes,
it's very
exactly.
Yes.
Somebody placed kids in foster care. I'm like, oh my God. All right, enough. And then Eugene. Okay, so Eugene's like a 3-hour drive from Portland, right? It's a long drive,
Right.
and all three. At one point, all
didn't you do Bend? Wait.
Excuse me, Bend. Yes,
okay,
Bend.
It was Bend. Okay.
So Bend is a 3-hour drive, and all three different ways to get there said chains advised. And I'm like, I don't have chains. I'm in a 6th rental car. Okay, I don't have chains.
6th.
Jackie,
it's rent a car of Bend.
No, you know what? I go to get the rental car. There's this massive line, and it looks like it's in front of 6th, but it turns out it's in front of Dollar. Dollar was 20 people deep, and I walked right up to 6th. Boom, got a car.
Sure, sweet.
So Eugene they haven't had comedy since before the pandemic, right? So they're, it's the audience.
Eugene might have been where we were, but was it nice or?
Do I keep saying Eugene when I mean Bend?
Yes.
Okay, so Bend hasn't had comedy since 2019.
Okay.
So it's in a brewery. It's a nice space, and so the audience, as I'm driving to Bend, as many parts of the central parts of the western states, when you get away from the coast, they get Trumpy. People still have their little Trump signs out. Okay, so it's like half Trumpy, and then it's a lot of retirees. A lot of people are retiring to Bend. It's like a very affordable Aspen, in my opinion.
Okay.
I was thinking maybe I'll stay here, come back one day. So I have one little mild, it's not, I don't mention political party. I just mentioned something about turning Florida blue. And so there's a group of people that bought tickets on the upper deck, right? And so I did a different joke later on, and she made some kind of comment, and I don't have proof of this, but I think she was mad about the Florida joke, but didn't want to say that's why, because she saw, there's a lot of, probably a lot of Democrats here or something like that, or people that didn't vote for Trump. So she jumped in on a different joke and was like overly weird about it. And then there's a bit of back and forth, and she's like, she said I wasn't raunchy enough, right? And because I go, no, I'm interested in your critique, and I could see her going, she didn't expect it to go this far, and she goes, I wanted something raunchier. And then I said, well, I'm not raunchy, and you're probably not going to enjoy yourself, so you should go. And she didn't. So I looked at Ryan, who's the comic who booked it, and he had already said, if there's a problem, just look at me, like maybe anticipating. And so I looked at him and I go, yeah, get her out. And so they kicked her out.
Nice.
I haven't kicked anyone out in a long time. But here's the thing. If you're in the audience, I get to do that. If you are, and I don't want to, I like to resolve everything with laughter. But if I'm getting bad vibes, I think you're casting a pall on the audience. Yeah. They're not comfortable. They're worried about you. You're overhead. You're above them with this really bad shit and bad energy. No, get the fuck out. You don't get to say what you want.
Person. You don't get to ruin 200 people's night.
200. Yeah. Thank you, Jackie. But but it's like there's this whole thing. It's my free speech. No, this is a private show. It's my show. It's not your free speech. It's my free speech. Because I have the mic. Right.
And it wasn't even free. You paid $20 to get in here, lady. And
so that was exciting. And I think people liked that too, because they didn't like her either, basically. And that was fun. And then then the hotel I was in, very dodgy. Okay. It was not interior doors. It was doors that opened into my door. When I opened the front door, looked at a gas station and a guy peeing in the bushes. So I stayed there for like an hour, and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to sleep. I'm going to be up all night. So I went and got myself a hotel at my expense. Again, now they haven't dinged me with extra charges, but I'll check my credit card. And so I stayed there. Then I drove back yesterday. The flight was delayed by like 2 hours because of some maintenance. It was just a long day of travel, waiting at the airport, all that kind of stuff. Got back very late today, last night.
Well, that's that's a hell of a week. Let's take a break here.
Okay.
Because we should. And now let's do comic of the week.
Yes. May I just reiterate, the shows were fun and the audiences were great. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Our comic of the week is Angie. Wait, Bloomfield. Wait, did I get her? Hold on.
No, we had it because you worked with her, and you were like, "Oh, she would love that." It's Bloomfield. You're right.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Angie Bloomfield. Bloomsies.
Yes. BLOMSIES, like BLOOMSIES. She's very funny. She's a local Eugene comic, and she's great. And
her handle is Bloomsies, so there's joy there. So and get in on it. People.
She's a madre like myself, so I always love that. And she's very funny. Did a great job. Mm-hmm.
She was talking about how if you took a break from drinking, you could just drive at night. That was the funniest. It was a great. And but I have to say that so find her Bloomsies, and it's she's a delight. So, but let me tell you that after we recorded, day after. We recorded the Wednesday.
Barely had barely sunk into my bones how bad things are about to get.
Right, but also like there was, they just. I mean,
for how long?
I was just numb.
The rest of our lifetime, Jackie, we're going to have a conservative Supreme Court. Maybe in my son's lifetime.
Our life might just be 2-3 months.
I know. That's come
on. So don't even worry about it.
I did a reel about that.
Take your son out to lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your reels have been on fire. Your Instagram reels, you're just like, but they've gone between sarcastic and funny, and then just like funny, and then just full of rage, and it's a delight. Where I have been trying to do pep talks, and I'm like, you think I'm doing this for you? I'm not. I'm doing it for me. My buddy Joe Wilson sent me that Laurie Anderson pep talk. Did you see that on my Instagram?
No.
Laurie Anderson reading a text she got from somebody famous, and it was awesome. Anyway, so so last week I was again in Canada, but I was with Maria, and we did Guelph. All these weird towns, and like Hamilton. I'm doing Hamilton tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
The night before this will go out. Guelph, I say Catherine's, plural.
Okay.
And then Oakville, Ontario, and then Richmond Hill, Ontario. And so we did all these shows and ended up so what happened was the last gig, all the gigs were great. You know, they were just super fun. Maria got a couple standing ovations.
Wow.
It was, the people were awesome. I told them all about Hamilton in the hopes that it would sell a lot of tickets for tomorrow night. It is not manifested. Let's just say that it is not manifested in that way.
A lot of people are buying a day of, Jackie. It is
could happen.
Sickening.
Happen. Right, and so I posted a hotel art because the art in this hotel room in Hamilton is actually quite nice. But what I think I love about Toronto is that there's amazing Chinese food everywhere. And so in Richmond, I went to dinner behind. Okay, so right across the way from the Hampton Inn was a mall massage place.
Yeah,
and it was the Wednesday. And we had recorded, and I was like, I'm getting a mall massage. And so I got a mall massage, and then I said, and there was a Chinese place right next to him in that strip mall, and I said, is that place good? And the woman goes, no, go one strip mall over. There's an amazing one. It's across from Costco. Maria, just for funsies, because she was super bored, joined Costco.
In Canada?
Yeah. So she was like, so she can't, I don't know if she can use it here. It was just ridiculous. And she did it. Get this. Did you know this are you a member of Costco?
I am.
Oh my God, there's just the two of you. But the
I
weird thing
know.
is,
Every once in a while,
but
though, like shampoo, meat. It's also good to get like meat and fish and stuff like that.
okay, well,
Yeah.
Rontowski was a Costco member,
Mm-hmm.
but the weird because here's what I've never understood about Costco is that you can't buy anything without the card, right?
Right. Right.
When you get up there, they ask you for your card, and I think your ID, unless they're putting the picture on it now.
They are.
But for some other reason, you can't just go in a Costco and look. Like, what if I might want to join Costco, but I'd like to see what you have? Not an option. They will not let you in unless you have a. No, no, I don't. I don't want. I was a member of Costco the year we got married because I was told that I would need things in bulk. Uh, when Laurie and I got married, it was weird because I was already married. And we just did it for spite. Yes. So, yeah, so that was so that was cool. And then I flew to Vermont, did a show that night from Richmond with Maria. Maria went home and has been calling me and going, you know what's great, Jackie? Being home. And I'm like, I bet it's great. And you know, and Chris just passed away, so I was telling a lot of Andy's friends, I was like, is everybody calling him? Is everybody taking him out to lunch? And it turns out everyone is. Everyone has risen to the occasion, so it's beautiful. And then but Vermont was super fun. There was one of the newer comics in Vermont hosted for me, a woman named Maddie, and a New Hampshire comic named Josh, who was actually Josh Day. He's opening for me in uh, Portland, Maine, as well. Yeah, and the weird thing is he does a lot of puns, or not puns. Wait, one-liners and puns. Yeah, one-liners and wordplay and puns. And I have my veterinarian joke has a couple of puns in it that is not working, and I would just be like, oh, it's okay if Josh does them, but if I try to do some sort of wordplay, I get judged. Right? It's I will say this: he has a couple of jokes, just normal. He's kidding. It's just a little bit of sexism as a joke, and it didn't fly because everyone's like, too close, too much. We're all about to get put into Sherpas, or not Sherpas. Those are the people that help you up the mountain in Tibet. Are you still there? You've kind of frozen up on me. I don't know if I've frozen on you. Well, we note the time, 43 minutes. Freeze frame. Okay, so we're back. Who knows? Laurie's computer actually died. And
You know
the
what?
blue screen
Our
of death,
faces,
or no?
uh, our faces froze, but sometimes that happens, right? And then all of a
Right.
sudden, there was lights. It was like a near-death experience. The videos I watched to comfort myself that there's more to life than this life. And then I got the Mac owners know this, the flashing question mark inside the folder icon. It's like, oh my fucking God. So now
Oh no.
I'm trying to reboot it. I plugged it in and restarted it, and I don't know. This could take hours. And it just went
Right.
black
And
again. So
and
I don't
luckily,
know.
I believe it's Monday. So Kyle has at least a day to you have a day to see if it lives or dies. And
I did have, while I was waiting to see if it would come back, I had time to leave another shitty review on Google Travel for Hotel Pineapple.
I'm so sad because you love the pineapple so much.
Not
You're
anymore.
such a fan. That was it. That was it.
Yep.
You got any? All right. So let me just ask quickly. I have I have a lot of, so I've been working on the new hour because I want to do the new
Mm-hmm.
hour. And now I might have this pointless bit about, as a pep talk for straight men in the world, for the, fuck. So to not to sort of thwart the idea of more guys turning into incels. I'm like, come on, guys, just be aware that you have to be more patient, and I'm just like, but I think you're right about the apologizing. And it didn't even occur to me until you said that I was like, I'm just pandering for the for the 40th year of stand-up comedy. I'm just trying to make sure that the dudes in the audience don't hate me because
You know,
yeah.
while I was mad, while we were off waiting for my thing to maybe reboot, so I go on Twitter and I had tweeted like, "Hey, comics, everything's going to get more expensive because of these tariffs, and people might not be able to afford tickets to our shows." And then some guy goes, Entertainment venues won't be affected by the tariffs." That's like, yeah, motherfucker, everything is going to get more expensive. That means everything costs more to people. Men, stop replying to tweets for like a fucking month. I don't want to hear your fucking voice or your little fucking suggestions. Enough.
Oh my God. So, who was on the Dork Forest a couple of weeks ago? Sarah Ross, piano comic and YouTube star.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and she has this song that over and over she's like, "Stop giving men microphones," and that's all she's shouting over and over as she plays around it. Stop giving men microphones. It's like, I don't know that's. There's somewhere in the middle between my pandering and her shut the fuck up that or maybe not. Maybe there isn't any of it. There's no longer. Maybe middle ground no longer exists.
I guess who I would have loved seeing on SNL last week would be like Michelle Wolf or Amber Ruffin or Wanda Sykes. Those would have been the monologues I would have loved to hear, but it's just I just feel like everything's pivoting to men. Please, Amber Ruffin would have been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So would Michelle Wolf. I don't know. I just
yep.
It's exhausting.
It is that. I mean, that is it. And they want us scared, and they want us exhausted, and they want us spinning in our heads. And they can't kill all of us. Fuck them. It's just.
But like when
I have other cheerful things to say. Yeah.
I look at these tours, right? And it's like having guys open for them, guy. It'll be like 6 comics and maybe 1 woman, and she's new. Right.
And
so she doesn't outshine anybody.
You're talking about the big shows, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm just I can't. I'm
What's
not
just
naming
happening with my
names. I'm
hair?
just saying. I don't know. In general, it's like it feels like 20 years ago already, instantly.
Right. It's a real. But do you have
Jackie,
any
you
new
weren't paying
material
attention. You can't sum it up. What?
No, I cannot summon it. Well, I don't know.
No.
I don't know if I agree, and but I don't want to argue about it. So I'm just like, because I can't tell. I don't know. Because what I'm trying to do, I wanted to show you. It's a list of affirmations that I've been doing every
Wow.
day. Yeah,
Jackie,
just,
you're in the deep mud right now. when you go to affirmations, woo.
Oh, I'm literally get me. Just throw a rock at me and have me look at the moon. I will piss on a spark plug at this point to keep some sanity and to not be, like there's just a malaise, right? I don't want there to be like a weird film over my day. I want to be able to live in the moment as well and look like I want you to be able to look at your son and go, we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a fun couple of hours. We're going to go do something fun. We're going to hang out and watch this TV that you like. We're going to be, and yesterday, Andy and I over Zoom in a hotel room. I'm in Vermont. He's in the house. We watched Great British Bake Off. and we synced our Netflix and we watched it over Zoom.
Oh, that's
And
cute.
yeah, yeah. And I was like, they don't get to take that, right? I want to
Right.
I want to be safe. I want to be angry. I want to be effective, but I also want to be joyful, and I want there to be happiness, and I want there to be love in my life. The other bit that I was thinking about working on is, because I've worked my entire life, and I have, at being sort of self-aware about being not, because I was raised with a great deal of violence when I was very little, and
Right.
I've been trying to not have that, right? And I was like, have I, because of that, I don't want it to be, it was like, um, yeah, it's, I've been working on being a peacenik for so long. I don't want there to be, I don't want to be passive. I don't want that, me working for peace to be me just letting things happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to be unwilling to stand up just because I'm some sort of, you know, peacenik, just because I want peace, love, tolerance, and kindness doesn't mean I have to show peace, love, tolerance, and kindness to people
Back.
that are hateful. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I don't want to, there was some meme going around about gaslighting ourselves that being hateful to people who are hateful isn't helping. And you're like, to some extent it does. It feels like the only way. And I'm actually rereading, you know how I'm always reading a book and then I'm listening to a book on Audible and then I'm rereading a book on Kindle. So I'm out of a regular book. I don't, very sad. Please don't recommend. I have a lot of books at the house. I'm doing just rereading on Kindle. And then audiobook I just bought, Out of the Silent Planet, which is the space trilogy by C.S. Lewis. And it literally is about um, the purpose of hatred. And it's weird. Because I was like, I would like to reread this and just, because it's science fiction written in 1946. So they build a spaceship. And I don't mean to mock. It was 1946, C.S. Lewis. What do you know about space travel? And they shaped it like the Earth because they figured if there was a core in the middle, there would be gravity. Anyway, they go into the sky, and there's it's the spaceship doesn't really. This week's episode actually is about very science based. Dork
Dork
Forest
Forest.
is Dork
Yeah.
Forest is about very science based science fiction with Matthew Broussard. And
I love Matthew Broussard. He's so funny.
oh, good.
He
Yeah,
was
he's
a
very
swimmer
funny.
too. I think his
Oh,
wife or girlfriend is like a nationally ranked, like really high up. I don't know if she still does, but she's like a great
okay.
swimmer. Yeah. We
Right.
worked
Well, he's got
together
a new
in
special coming out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we worked together in Austin at the old Cap City. He was featuring, and we went swimming at whatever that lake that has the begins with a B, I think, in that pool. Yeah, awesome people know it, and
Yeah.
because I was like, oh yeah, I bet you swim, and then I was like, oh fuck, he does. He's good. He's really fast. Yeah.
Oh, good, good. Well, yeah,
Mhm.
and he's a big fan of because he has a degree in math.
Mhm.
And so he's interested in science fiction that's very science based. And so the books he was talking about were very they're not my favorite. I like a little bit. I like Star Wars a lot. I don't mind.
Mhm.
Science isn't, I don't care. I can suspend my
Mhm.
disbelief enough to believe in God. How much easier is it to believe in Star Wars?
Yep.
Yeah, so so I think, but it was, so the books he was suggesting, so I don't know that he would, that's the reason why I'm sort of making fun of the spaceship that C.S. Lewis, because it's called Out of the Silent Planet is the first
Mhm.
one, and it's his space trilogy. He wrote the Narnia series. I never read it, and then I tried to read it, and I think I missed a window because I think it's a kid's book. Did
Mhm.
you ever read it to your son
I
or read
read
it?
the wardrobe one, the
Okay,
closet,
the first of
whatever
them.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. because there's like 9 of them, and I think I read 3 of them, and I was like, I get it.
Didn't appeal to me even back then. Sorry.
Right, when he was
I don't have the
when your
headspace for
boy
it.
was little. Yeah.
No. When I read it when I was little, I know there are a lot of comics that are into fantasy and all that, and every time I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it, and it makes
Neither
me
does
feel
Matthew Broussard. Yes.
isolated, like I'm missing a part of a brain, and perhaps I am. And
Right. But you watch some real dark anime, so you got plenty of nerd cred, Laurie Kilmartin.
all right.
So
I'm not trying to get cred. I'm just like, why doesn't that appeal to me? I don't know.
Yeah, I've
Jackie,
made peace with
a
lot of stuff.
when
Yeah.
this podcast started, I had overpaid $50 in hotel fees, and we're ending with me with a brand new computer, new to me from eBay, dying. What the fuck?
Wait, that's the new one?
Yes.
Oh no. That's not okay.
I'm on my backup piece of shit.
Oh shit. All right. Well, you guys, here's what I'd like to say. This is an effective use of thoughts and prayers. When it comes to computers, when it comes to guns or politics, actually action, but thoughts and prayers, or you could just Venmo Laurie for a brand new computer. Don't do it. Don't say it.
What are you doing? We can't be like that.
Okay, fair enough.
But you know what? People could join our Patreon. Oh, you know what? I have to mail some notebooks.
We forgot to mention the Patreon.
We have a new $20 a monther, so that person gets notebooks. I'll get on that as soon as we're over here. And we have 3 levels. $5 a month gets you one interview with a female comic that we do separately. It's just audio. The 2 of us with a third voice, if you can imagine, if there's any room
instead
for
of just
breathing.
Kyle's laughter. Yes.
And then that's right, yeah. And then 10 and up, of course, is you get stickers. Every 3 months you get 3 stickers. And then 20 and up is you get all that plus 2 signed notebooks from us. And our undying gratitude and thank you for supporting us because you like us, we guess.
Right. We guess. And then MaximumFun.org/join if you want to know about all of the other podcasts that are in our umbrella podcast festival that we're in with all with all them. And they have extra episodes and extra stuff too. So that's super cool if you want to join that. Laurie, it has been an hour to my knowledge.
You know what? I just want to say very quickly, when I was in Bend, I went back to this pool I used to swim in all the time when I used to do one-nighters in Bend in the 90s, the Juniper Aquatic Center. Still there, still perfect. I love it. That's the other thing that Bend has like a vibe of Lake Tahoe, but without the massive wealth. There are lots of people that are camping in the woods around in Bend. Did you know that? They just live there. Like they live.
Absolutely not.
Have
you ever gone
land
camping?
management?
Yeah.
I would know. It's hard. I was asking Ryan. I'm like, what? The 2 of the audience members. He's like, they just live in a camper out in the woods, and apparently there's a lot of people that do, and they can be sighted and stuff. Yeah, it's not legal how they're doing it. They're just living. It's not like they rented the weekend. They live there, and it's just tough. It's really tough. I don't think they have as much of that in Tahoe because there's so many people there. But there's not the great wealth. And I'm just saying Bend is like it's a cool different vibe. And the Juniper Aquatic Center, it's still kicking ass. It's 2 pools, a 50-meter and
I love
25-yard.
I'm gonna sit
gorgeous.